I'm Carolyn Cole from the Easton Shoveltown Cultural District. Welcome to our first in a series of gallery and video commentary of local artists and artisans. If you've been to the Ames Free Library Children's Department, you'll have viewed our artist of today's work, Inez Smrz. She donated 2 large canvases of wild animals and birds that are hung in the children's section of the library. If you haven't seen them, you must go see them. They're extraordinary. I'd like to introduce Inez to you, and her first painting, which is the Cotton Club, which of course brings up the thoughts of jazz and blues.
Well, I was inspired to paint the Cotton Club because to me it's always been an icon of American music history. Especially during the times of the jazz age, the 1920s and 30s, with musicians like Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong, Cab Calloway, and so many others that we know today. This painting has a lot of little details that I really enjoyed painting. For example, this area here was back in the day a real seedy area of storefront. So I painted a brick wall and added posters of the musicians there at the time. This mural here did not exist. I created that from a cover of a matchbook cover that the Cotton Club used to hand out. What I liked about it is it told you where it was, the Aristocrat of Harlem. Also gave you the exact address, Lenox Avenue and 192nd Street, and I particularly like the smallest detail, which is 192nd is spelled with a D, not an ND like we do today. I often like to add automobiles of the day because it was just so beautiful back then, and this happens to be a 1933 Packard.
I noticed that there's a lot of intensity and color and vibrancy in your paintings, and I know also from your bio that you've been an artist for over 25 years. Mm-hmm. So what inspired you? What made you what developed the connection between color and form and shape that got you involved in this career?
Well, I would say that my biggest influence was my grandmother when I was a child. She loved to take me for walks in my native city of Santiago, Chile, where I was born. And she would point out the most interesting designs in architecture and nature. She taught me the power of observation, and she also encouraged me to paint.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yes.
I wonder if their parents and grandparents realize the influence they have on the future of their children.
They do.
I also noticed, as we look at more of your paintings, that they appear to be in the Art Deco period.
Mm-hmm. I was influenced by that era. This painting, called Stardust, is a party soiree that reflects one of my influences, which is the fresh and fashion designers of the 20s and 30s. Created beautiful, beautiful gowns. For example, this party soiree shows ladies in their flowing gowns with pearls and fans, and the gentlemen in black tuxes and white ties, and they're all surrounded by palms and a black grand piano. I feel like you could almost hear a Cole Porter song.
Yeah, it gives you that influence, and you feel like everybody's around the piano, and it's a big party. This is only a small section of it.
Mm-hmm. You know, over here, there's another similar painting, again a party soiree of the 20s and 30s. This time, outdoors in a balcony in a high-rise in Manhattan. And in the background is the Chrysler Building, which is the epitome of Art Deco buildings.
We can move on to one of your fun paintings. If you can tell us a little about that.
This little guy is called Hot Dog, and he's really an inspiration of the moment. There isn't any other history behind him other than that I wanted to paint a Chihuahua in rainbow colors.
Now this painting has my attention because I always feel like her eyes are following you wherever we go.
Oh, this is one of my favorites, too. This one actually was inspired by the mass balls in Venice, the yearly balls in Venice, Italy. They have some outstanding creations as far as mass and costumes, and it's amazing they can do it on a yearly basis.
Oh, wonderful. Now, again, we're down here to the party influence and soiree.
Again, in the 1920s or 30s, with ladies dancing with elegant gentlemen. There's a band in the background. They're dining. It's called the Cypress Room, and it's a popular place.
Oh, this looks like a fun at the yacht club.
Well, that's a lady holding her hat in the harbor wind, and she has a dreamy look, like she's thinking about the party after the regatta.
Now this one, of course, is the tango.
The tango is one of the most romantic and intimate dances. It had its start in the poor barrios of Buenos Aires, Argentina, in the early 1900s. It was accepted totally by all social classes by the 1930s. It was completely accepted into society, and it became actually a worldwide international dance.
I noticed the title of this is Come Fly With Me.
Yes, this picture shows an evolution of the airplanes from the 1900s, from actually the first half of the 20th century. The biplanes were the most popular planes up until 1925. And then came the Douglas DC-3, which became the first viable passenger airplane in the industry. After that came the Piper Cubs, which an individual could learn how to fly for sport. And in the background is takeoff of the Santa Barbara Airport, which to me is, again, one of the epitomes of Art Deco gems in architecture.
Thank you, Inez, for joining us. And I want to thank ECAT for working with us on this program and allowing us to use their studio as gallery space. If you are a local artist and artisan and you would like to participate, you can contact me, Carolyn Cole, and ECAT will have the contact information on the screen. Thank you.